What's up, everybody? This is Clutching Nostalgia, and let me first start off by saying that this video isn't an in-depth review of all the episodes up until this point. I believe we're at 12, if I'm not mistaken. This is just my thoughts and opinions on the series as a whole so far. The plan is to get this video out, and then from here on out, do a weekly review of each episode. Let me first say that I'm actually really impressed with the anime so far. I know a lot of people were scared that the anime wasn't going to do well. I know the manga started off with a lot of bumpy roads, especially because a lot of people didn't like that they were just going over the Boruto movie stuff. A lot of people also thought that they were going to go over Naruto Gaiden and animate that first. I actually, personally, I would have liked to have seen that. I thought it was an interesting story. And there's a lot of going on in there. There's a lot of stuff that the Boruto anime hasn't got to yet or hasn't touched on yet. And I think it's pretty important information, especially the stuff with Sarada. So far, the new cast has been really enjoyable. Shikadai, of course, he's basically a clone of Shikamaru. But as long as there's one or two characters like that, it's not that big of a deal. And plus, I'm a huge Shikamaru fan, and it's nice to bring that kind of lazy genius thing to the new generation. Plus, he's done a good job of helping Boruto stay on the right path. But some of the other characters, Mitsuki, who's probably my favorite character in the anime so far, he's really interesting. He's very strong. And there's a lot going on with him. I'm really interested to see what they do with his character. And is he a bad guy? Is he a good guy? Like, what is his closer relationship to Boruto? There's a lot going on with Mitsuki. I would complain that Sarada has not been touched on very much as of the recording of this video. She's one of the main three in Boruto's crew, but they've hardly even touched her. I feel like Mitsuki's got way more time than her. And even some of the other people, like Metal Lee, for example, he had his own episode, but like she's just been sprinkled in here a little bit. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but Sakura has been absent, other than like I think we saw her as a cameo in an episode or two ago, like working on one of the people that have been drained of chakra. And like I know not a lot of people don't like her that much, but she is an important character, and they haven't even touched on her. If they're going to make Sarada an important character, they need to show her relationship with her mother. I know in Gaiden it was strained. She didn't know her dad, and she wasn't getting the information from her mom. I want more of that. She's a pretty interesting character, and I think they're going to do a lot with her later on. We'll see. Even Choji's daughter, Chocho, she's really unique. I know at first I really didn't like her. I thought she was annoying, but she's one thing that you have to say about her is she's interesting. If nothing else, she's original. There's not been a character like her. And another thing I'll say is how many fat females do you see in anime? Like, I was thinking about that. Like, not a lot. They're all like skinny, like huge breasts, like. You never really see a fat anime character, and she's really unique. She's got her own thing going on, and I don't want to say enjoyable, but she's fresh. She's new. Metal Lee, he's a clone of Lee for the most part. He seems pretty confident in battle when he's not nervous, but he's a pretty good character. Sai and Ino's son, Inoji, I believe his name is. He's pretty interesting, and it seemed like they were going to do a lot with him after the first couple episodes, but here in the last couple episodes, he's kind of been missing. I know he briefly talked with Mitsuki about Boruto the last episode, but other than that, we haven't really seen him, and he seems pretty strong. I know Dinky and Awabe, they're completely fresh to the anime. They're not in the manga at all, and I'm interested to see where they go with him. At the beginning of it, I really thought that Awabe was going to be like a rival character for Boruto. I don't really like how, like, after that one fight, he's just like best friends with him. He's had a little bit of development, and he seems pretty strong in combat. I know when they were doing the girls versus boys challenge, he like put up that big like mud wall to like block the girls. Like, his powers are really interesting. Dinky, on the other hand, he's been kind of so far, but pretty interesting. I think I know where they're going to go with him. How this world is a lot more advanced than it was in Naruto. So I know in the Girls versus Boys challenge, he like hacked the computer system to like close the doors and stuff. It's going to be really interesting to see how they incorporate that in with him on missions and stuff. And I'm really interested to see what teams Dinky and Awabe end up on. I wonder if they end up on the same team together. I feel like they'd be a good pair. One's smart and the other one's a little bit more brawny. I feel like they could have a nice chemistry going. But who would the third teammate be? As for the rest of the cast, like the class rep, I believe her name is Sumire or Sumide or something like that. I'm really glad that her character has taken a new direction within these last 2 episodes. I was really afraid she was going to be a Hinata clone. While she didn't really show any extra attention to Boruto, she was definitely giving off those Hinata vibes. I'm really glad to see that she's taken a new direction. I'll be interested to see how this, because it appears she's going to be, spoiler alert, it appears she's going to be the bad guy of this next coming episode. So we'll see where that goes. I know there's been the 2 other girls that have been seen heavily. One's like a cat. I didn't pick up their names. One's like a cat. One's got like long orange hair. I'm not really sure about those 2, but we'll see where they go. I know there's a lot of characters in the background that have interesting designs. I know one guy's got like the slick back, like kind of greaser hair. And then there's like a bald kid. There's a lot of interesting designs in the back that I'd like to see those characters get a little bit more attention. I don't know if any of you've seen Boruto the movie, but we get a lot of looks at some other characters from the village, like during the tuning exams, like Gara's children. And I think there's some kids from the Rock Village that look pretty interesting. I'd really like to see some of them maybe, but right now it seems like they're staying in the academy type setting. But this next episode looks like this is when shit's going to get real. It looks like this is when stuff's going to pick up, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. But after this, I don't know, mini arc, big conflict, I don't know, because it seems like this is starting to reach the climax of this chakra stealing thing that it's doing. After that, I'm really interested to see how they go about it. I know eventually they'll probably get into the Boruto movie and start reanimating that. We'll see how that goes. As for the adult characters, like I said before, mostly just cameos. I think they've done a good job of showing them. Sai's been pretty interesting. I personally feel like they've been doing Shino dirty in this series. I know when I heard that he was going to be the academy teacher, and when you see it in Gaiden, actually it was chapter 700 when you first see it, I believe. I was really excited to see him get a little bit more action because he's always been interesting. Like in the original tuning exams when he was fighting the dude that could like shoot wind and sound out of his arms or whatever, putting those bugs in his arms and stuff, dude, that was like great. Like he's always been strategic and smart, and I was really looking forward to him getting a chance to shine, and they're kind of throwing him under the bus again. Like I know he's kind of like bonding with Boruto and the rest of them, but they're really doing him dirty. Honestly, I hate to say this, but I do not like the direction Naruto's taken in this. I know a lot of people are kind of upset with Boruto's character right now, and a lot of people dislike him and stuff, but let me just say that he's a lot more enjoyable than Naruto was at this point, in my opinion. At this point in the Naruto series, I hated Naruto. He was annoying as hell. Like, I mean, I understood that he was alone and stuff, but like, it got to a certain point, like, every time he'd get assigned to a mission, he'd complain about it, and like, Boruto, I feel like, is way less over the top. And I kind of understand where he's coming from. Naruto's honestly been kind of a shitty dad to this point so far. Like, I understand you're the Hokage and like, you're busy and everything, but like, at a certain point, you gotta like be there for your family. Like, I know a couple episodes back we saw some interaction with him and Hinata, but other than that, I feel like they've hardly even talked through the series. And then like, he's never around, and like, I don't know, like, you feel like someone who was alone throughout their whole childhood would understand a little bit. Like, come on, dude. Like, I'm not feeling Naruto's character right now. Hopefully it turns around. I understand that a lot of that gets resolved during the Boruto movie, and that's why that Naruto's still going to be like that, and Boruto's still going to be rebellious until we get through that Boruto movie stuff. But still, man, like, it's your kid. Like, take care of your kid. I'm also really interested to see where they go with Boruto's eye from here on out. I don't think it was even hinted at in the Boruto movie, so this is like completely original content, and it's interesting. It appears to be some form of the Tensagon, because Tornetti or whatever was the one that spoke to him in the dream. I honestly thought that it was going to be Neji when I heard the synopsis of the episode, like a ghostly figure was going to talk to him. I thought it was going to be Neji talking to him about some kind of Byakugan or something, but obviously not. One thing I'm really not feeling about this, like, I understand that the demographics like aim towards children and stuff, but like the writing, like, okay, I understand that, like, maybe a couple times, like, in the heat of battle, like, you forget to, like, be like, hey, look at my eye, but, like, every single time Boruto gets the thing in his eye, like, he's conveniently, like, turned away from, like, the people with him, or, like, it just goes away right before someone looks at him. It's just, like, when it starts happening, why can't you just be like, hey, Shikadai, like, check out my eye? I did like how he went and, when he was with Hiyashi and Hanabi, trying to figure out what the eye was. That was a really interesting sequence of events. I thought that they were going to do a little bit more with that, but like the talk between Hiyashi and Naruto, though it was short and sweet. There was a lot of good information you got in there, and then I loved Hanabi. Like, she was awesome. I think she was awesome in Shippuden. Every little tiny bit you saw her, I thought she was awesome in Naruto the movie, and grown up, she's awesome. She's a badass. Like, I was definitely a Hinata fan, but starting to move to the Hanabi side, she's definitely a beast. Overall, I'm really pleased with the anime, down to the art and animation, and then the storytelling. I think they've done a really good job of fleshing out the newer generation and making them enjoyable. I know Naruto in the beginning, obviously they didn't have the funding or the clout behind them to get the ball rolling, so they didn't get a chance to explore some of the later characters until the tuning exams, which is where a lot of people really got into the series. So I think it's a good job. They're doing a good job of getting the new generation, making them likable characters. Meanwhile, sprinkling in the old cast, they're doing a very good job of that. The story has been pretty good so far. I understand they're doing the academy days and stuff, but meanwhile, like, building up to a certain thing, which appears to at least start in this next episode. So interested to see where that goes now that the story's starting to get a little bit more serious. But so far, it's been a very enjoyable experience. I'm very happy with it. I know a lot of people were, like I said, were really skeptical because the anime's been very good so far. I really like some of the directions they've taken creatively, and I really can't wait to see where the rest of the series goes from here. If you liked what I had to say or liked the video, go ahead and drop a like. If you'd like to see more videos from me, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll make sure to get some more videos out for you guys to see later. Until next time, it's Clutching Nostalgia.